3 goals of pitching mechanics. I apologize ahead of time. I'm in Puerto Rico playing winter ball right now. It's really windy, so hopefully you can just bear with me on this audio. So, all right, 3 goals of pitching mechanics: health, velocity, and command. Just to give you guys some context on this, the obvious, health. You can't accomplish anything if you're not healthy, okay? If you're injured, you're not going to be able to attribute velocity. You're not going to be able to improve your command. So health is always number 1. And how does that relate to pitching mechanics? Efficiently use the big muscle groups, the body, in protection against overusing the arm. I also talk about health in regards to like the soreness levels, the over fatiguedness, because of this reason. If you're not properly moving and leveraging your arm and doing all these things, your recovery is going to suck, and you're not going to be able to take on a lot of load. You're not going to be able to take on a lot of stress in development of like all your other goals unless you move well. I see this a lot of times with younger kids, and this is why I have a whole chapter on movement optimization before intent, because you have like the one high intent day a week and you're not moving extremely well, but you have the one high intent day, and then like someone's shot, you know, for 5 days, they can't recover after that particular day, so then they don't really improve after that. Right? My biggest thing, especially like in season like I am now, is you should be able to take on a lot of stress, because if you move right, then the levels of soreness, the levels of overall fatigue aren't going to be as extreme as if you're moving wrong, right? So that's the health goal of these 3 goals is the main emphasis in this. When we look at, you know, overall optimization of movement, it's not just what you're doing, you know, in the actual pitching mechanics itself. It's obviously, you know, attributed to what you do each and every day, the work that you put in the weight room, the training room. All these things are you know, just added pieces to this giant puzzle that is pitching mechanics. So health is number 1. Health, velocity, command, somewhat all intertwined, because when you move extremely well and you use a lot of your body to throw a baseball, you're typically going to have somebody that can throw a lot, which influences your development in the actual task itself, right? Because baseball, like pitching, is so interesting because it's like the one thing that we're expected to get better at by doing less of. That's why I always like tell kids we want to establish a foundation of what we're trying to do and what that looks like, and things that we can work on mechanically. So then once we establish that foundation, then we can layer on pieces to like pitch design, developing you know, a pitch repertoire, your velocity, your command, all of these things. That's why we have to establish this foundation of overall optimization. So then we can do those things where it's like, if you don't start that way and you start from like the intent piece and then just, I'm going to throw as hard as I can, and you're trying to work back. And then the reason why I wanted to put velocity in there before command is just because we live in a day and age now where like the importance of velocity is so amplified. If you have aspirations to play at the highest level possible, or to pitch at the highest level possible, like, then you need to put yourself in the best possible situation to do that, or best possible position to do that, which is radar, which is velocity, because that is the first thing people look at. You can command 4, 5, 6 pitches, but you're throwing 75 miles an hour as a senior in high school. It's just, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. So I would always encourage, or if you have aspirations to pitch at the highest level, then you got to put yourself in a position where you can fit in with the other individuals that are in that same situation. But luckily for us, we're going to dive into all of these components of how they are related and how I see fit to really emphasize like pitching mechanics to accomplish these goals. Okay, hopefully that made sense. All right, let's get to work.